And we have the privilege and honor of ministering to the women who are left outside or they themselves have been previously incarcerated. And just have that community around them knowing that, hey, I can just reach out to my Kairos sisters and they're going to be there to help me.
That's so powerful. That is so powerful. I love that. I love it. Do you know how many times that I've been inside and someone looked at me and we're having an emotional moment and they said, Cliff, I didn't get arrested. I got rescued. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
There's more freedom in prisons than there is out here on the street.
If I know someone that deserves to be a part of this weekend, can you nominate someone?
Can you help me? I'll be bent, not broken. But I'm not completely broke, brother, I'm badly bent. We're not broken, just bent. Love is bent, not broken. I'm no longer broken.
Welcome to the Bent Christian Podcast.
I am talking today with someone who you might not picture, have the picture in your mind when you think of prison ministry. She lives on a farm. She works in a Christian coffee shop, and she sold Mary Kay cosmetics for 34 years. And honestly, that's the reason why I wanted to have this conversation today, because God will sometimes call and accomplish amazing, incredible, unexpected things through everyday, ordinary people. Welcome to the Bent Christian Podcast. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Cliff.
How are you?
I'm great.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
We have known each other for a couple years now, and we have shared different stories and a lot about our faith and been in a lot of community and networking events. And then the one that really caught my attention is when you told me you were part of Kairos. And as you know, and I've shared with a group on another podcast, I've been involved with Kairos since about 2018. And we do what's the part that's Kairos Inside. I go inside the prisons. That's one of my favorite ministries. But in meeting you, I would not have guessed that about you, that you were so passionate about prison ministry. And when you started to share that, I knew then that we needed to have this conversation. So welcome. I can't wait to hear the rest. Yeah, I can't wait to hear the rest of the story. And I'm really glad you're here. So before we get into that, tell me more about you. I mean, here's what I know.
Okay.
You live on a farm, and I know that because I know your husband, and I buy products that you guys grow, and they're all amazing. I know you work in a Christian coffee shop because I spend more time in that coffee shop for someone that doesn't drink coffee than anyone I know, but it's amazing, and I know you love being there and the people there. I know you've done Mary Kay forever. I've seen you with baskets. You've donated stuff to my ministries for a fundraiser, and I know you've done it with other ministries. But let's go before that. Like, tell me, did you grow up around here?
No, actually, I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Yep. Snow capital of the world. And then lived there till I got married to my amazing husband of almost 43 years.
Congratulations.
And 1 month after we got married, we moved to Indiana for him to start school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he was from New York also.
Well, he actually grew up in the military. So he has lived all over the world.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, I met him in Buffalo. We actually met on a bowling league, a Saturday morning youth bowling league. I was 15 years old when I met him.
Really?
So, yes. So we actually this February just celebrated the 50th anniversary of our first date.
That's amazing. That's so fun. I can't wait to see him again.
So we are blessed to have 4 children. And that's a whole nother story, but 4 children, soon to be 10 grandchildren, and 1 great-granddaughter who is just about 4 years old, 3 or 4.
That's amazing. So
we moved here a month after we got married, and he went to school and got his degree, and we just fell in love with the area. The weather was so much better here.
Wow.
People,
I don't hear that often.
Yeah. Well, when you grow up in Buffalo and you have snow from October to June, this is much better. Right?
Hey, and so we're going to cut that clip out and share it for everyone that's complaining in the middle of winter about Indiana weather, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That is right.
It's funny.
You guys don't know what winter is.
Travel to Buffalo.
That's right. And then in 1992, I was invited to, so we're raising our kids, obviously, invited to go to a walk to Emmaus.
Yeah.
That's where I found Jesus. Jesus
amazing.
found me there. Ken and I went on back-to-back weekends, which was kind of hard for me because he came back from his weekend and left me alone for 4 days as a single mom. And then I went on my weekend. And so like when he got home from his trip, I'm like, see ya, bye. Because I had, 3 little ones at the time. And it's a challenge. So did that. And then almost immediately started serving on Emmaus.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real heart for teenagers because I had a really rough teenage years. Had a baby when I was 17, put on for adoption. So I then got involved with Chrysalis, which is the youth version of the Walk to Emmaus, which is a 4th day community. And I worked there for a very long time. Kind of got a little burnt out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So in raising our kids and all that, we just, stayed involved in our church and served where we could. And a good friend of mine knew that I worked with Chrysalis because I'd worked with her before and I had stepped away because I just needed a break. So for 5 years, she asked me, can you do Kairos? You should do Kairos. You'd be really good at Kairos. Okay. So finally,
Yeah.
and it's God's timing.
It is.
Such God's timing. I served my first Kairos weekend in the spring of 2016.
Okay.
And yeah, wow.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was. It was amazing. I loved the community of it. I loved the healing of it. Yes, we talk about Jesus, but these ladies that come to the Kairos Outside weekend need healing. There's a lot of hurt
Yeah.
that goes on between families just turning away from them because of a choice somebody else made.
Yeah.
Like if they have a loved one incarcerated. I've seen churches. These women come in and their churches have turned away from them because her husband is incarcerated.
So let's unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
You said Kairos Outside.
Correct.
Now I'm involved in the program I'm involved in is called Kairos
Sure.
Inside. So we go inside.
Right.
So
Let me give the overview.
Yeah. So tell me more about
Kairos
that.
is one ministry, with 3 programs. Okay. So the Kairos International Prison Ministry covers all of it. So we have an inside program where we go into, groups of men and women go into offender facilities
Right.
and bring the love of Christ and just teach them what it looks like and how much they're loved.
Yeah.
Then we also go into juvenile facilities, and that's called Kairos Torch.
Okay.
Right? So that is groups of men and women go into the facilities and they bring that love of Christ in a format that the youth can understand better.
Okay.
And then the third program is called Kairos Outside.
Okay.
And we have the privilege and honor of ministering to the women who are left outside or they themselves have been previously incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
So whether they didn't get to go to Kairos on the inside, they can come to Kairos on the outside once they get out. But we also get to minister to the moms, the kids,
Yeah.
the grandmas, the aunts, the girlfriends, anybody, any woman over the age of 20 years old that has been impacted in any way.
And that's what, when we're on the inside and we're telling the participants on our weekends that program exists, that's the way we reference it when we're explaining. We say anyone that's been affected or impacted
Anyone.
by,
They could work.
it could be their
Yeah,
an incarceration from a father, a spouse, a boyfriend, a son,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
They
Just
themselves.
they themselves. And so I think that's so important
Mhm.
because, and I love that about Kairos. That was one of the things that was so interesting to me was they didn't just see this one piece.
Mm-mm.
They grew, they saw the one piece and then they
saw the need.
expanded that. And then even with the torch, like, let's
Yeah.
show them Christ's love before it's sometimes too late,
Right.
with some of those situations. So I love that because I haven't had any exposure to the outside program because that's for women.
Right.
And that's a women-only program. And you said anyone above the age of 20 that's been impacted by incarceration, their lives or someone in the lives of those around them, right?
And it's free. We put on 1 to 2 free, let me say that again, free weekends a year. The ladies come. They're invited to come. We provide transportation if they need it. All they have to do is take care of any childcare needs that they have.
Right.
And they come from 6 o'clock on Friday evening until about 4 o'clock on Sunday. And they're just loved on. They're shown what it looks like. They get to meet women walking through the same journey that they're walking, you know, and most of them feel like they're very isolated and rejected. And so we talk about that. We talk about anger. We talk about communicating with God. We talk about relationships, because a lot of it has to do with how they deal with relationships too. So they're getting to learn, they're getting to heal, they're getting to be loved, they're getting fed really well.
Well, I tell you, if it's anything like the inside or the way the inside used to be. There's been some changes.
Yes,
but,
there has post-COVID, but we don't have to, I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're not inside the prison. So
exactly.
But still very much connected to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there is a place for men
so
to serve in our ministry as well. Ken and I have served on Kairos this is my 10th year in Kairos. And he's either on the weekends in the kitchen, because that's where we have the guys come in. That's where the guys can help us, or bringing things to and from the weekends, you know, just being the hands and feet of Christ.
I love that. I don't think people, when you think about those weekends, and I don't want to lose the point about you talking about the Emmaus walk, but the work that goes into these weekends.
Well, and there's required hours of training.
Right.
Every team member that serves on that weekend is there to love on those ladies, is required to go through 36 hours of training prior to the weekend. Plus give up the week. Well,
it's a commitment.
Serve the weekend. And then we have a reunion where we bring everybody back together about 3 weeks after.
So that's the same as what they do on the inside, just to reconnect with them. And also, as importantly, to have them reconnect with themselves, each other, right?
And then our ultimate goal too is to create what we call swap groups, which is basically a small group where these ladies can connect weekly and get that support that they need, those prayers prayed for, and just have that community around them, knowing that, hey, I can just reach out to my Kairos sisters and they're going to be there to help me.
That's so powerful. That is so powerful. I love that. I love it. You mentioned you started the Walk to Emmaus. Now, I know on our weekends, our Kairos Inside weekends, one of the requirements is you have had to experience one of the weekends. And that could be Cursillo, Emmaus, Tres Dias, Great Banquet, Discipleship Walk. There are many flavors of that weekend. And the point is understanding it's a process.
It is a process.
Yeah.
I think are a little not quite as strict on the outside, right? Those that have been on Kairos Outside weekends can serve immediately. Okay. Right? So the guests, and obviously we want them to come back because of the joy that you get from serving. Sure. But we do have kind of they're going to come and be angels first, go to our Walking in Love, which is a ceremony, come to the closing. And then because of that 36 hours of training, we can assign somebody that's not necessarily walked a fourth day event yet through the training and still be able to serve. And they kind of experience it at the same time.
And I don't want to go into too many details on the weekend because anyone that gets to experience this.
You do get to experience it. But if I tell you there was a candlelight service, you have your own picture in your mind. Yeah, you have no idea. That's where I kind of get a little upset with some people that are like, oh, it's a secret, I can't tell you.
Yeah, nope. It's not.
You can tell everybody everything, how they perceive it and how the reality of it happens. Right. It doesn't matter.
We just say all the time on the weekends, because I'm still very heavily involved in the Central Indiana discipleship. And then I do 2 prisons. Actually, I went to a different one because COVID shut us down for years at another one. And God put on my heart, he said, you think that's the only prison I need you in? I'm like sitting on the sidelines waiting. And so he can be persistent. But You're exactly right. And what we try to tell people is don't anticipate.
No.
Just let it
Yep.
be your experience.
It's God's time.
Because it doesn't matter if we're talking about an Emmaus weekend or a Kairos weekend. Something that is impactful to you may not be the same thing that touched me, that hit
That's
me,
right.
that connected with me, right? So we just tell people don't anticipate. And the other thing is, we tried to get away from saying you need to go to this weekend. We started saying you deserve to go.
Yeah. It's a gift.
And that's
we want to give
it
you
is
this
a
gift.
beautiful gift.
Yes.
And getting people to understand that. And sometimes inside or outside, they don't believe that something this nice could be for free. There's no catch. They're a little jaded or a little scarred or
Exactly.
right.
And it's, I mean, think about, well, you as a guy probably wouldn't know this, but us as women, we don't like going places we don't know what's going to happen.
Sure.
Right? So that's why, unfortunately, our reservation rate, we could have 40 confirmed guests 2 days before the weekend and only 20 will show up.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is create events for them to come ahead of time. So we're going to do a community event at this summer to invite all those people that have said, yes, I want to come to the weekend to come and meet us first.
Oh.
So that should create a little bit more comfort for them.
That's amazing.
Right. We had one girl who locked herself in the bathroom and almost went home. And now she's like super active in everything.
Isn't that amazing?
It was. It's just.
I've watched so many people through the years. I mean, and I tell you, when you're inside, and often they will say when they started, like they signed up because it was something different to do, you know, and then we watched God move through the weekend, you know, and he does. He meets you right where you are. And that doesn't matter if it's inside, outside, or,
doesn't,
you know, in the torch thing.
Does it?
So.
You know, and I think the big thing that God taught me, because I did have the honor and privilege of going inside to IWP.
Okay.
And the thing that he showed me is, you know what? We're all sinners. Some of them just come with sentences.
Boy. And do you know, expanding on that, do you know how many times that I've been inside and someone looked at me and we're having an emotional moment and they said, Cliff, I didn't get arrested. I got rescued. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
There's more freedom in prisons than there is out here on the street.
Yeah.
For those that know the Lord and really follow after him.
Well, and especially if you have a prison in your mind.
We all do.
Right?
We all do.
If you're
and
limiting,
that's one of, when we do our trainings, one of the first questions we ask everybody is, what prison are you stuck in right now?
That's so good. That's so good. So why you? Why Kairos? I mean, what is your why? I know I had a ton of reasons why I wanted to connect to that population because of my past and things, but other than your friend that said for 5 years, you should do this, you should do this. I mean, was that it, or was there something else?
Since I've started serving, I've had one son who spent some time in county jail. I've had a couple of my daughter's boyfriends, same. And, you know, I watched what that did. I saw my son-in-law was just recently, last October, he had a DUI. So instead of, he chose to do the time. Yeah. And I just watched as she walked through that. And so, and meeting the women that I have, because when you're on a team, like my very first team, one of the things I remember distinctly is as a team member, you're assigned a guest. And it's your job to reach out to that guest and introduce yourself, see what needs she has, see if she's any special dietary needs. Does she need a ride? Just so that when they come, they've talked to somebody.
Made a connection.
Yeah. And so we try and reach out 5-6 times before the weekend, just so that they know, you know, we're really excited about them. And so just watching what she walked through and just being able to be that support for her. Like, I mean, we were able to even get her a gas card because she came all the way from Terre Haute. So, and people come from all over. We've had people come down from Fort Wayne, all over, just to come, right? And yeah, I don't ever remember. I mean, yes, there's times when we've had a couple of people had to leave the weekends, but yeah, what they look like when they come in Friday and what they look like on Sunday afternoon, that to me is just the visible evidence that our God is so powerful that he can overcome anything.
Yeah.
anything.
That's beautiful. It absolutely is. Knowing that and knowing you've had the experiences and you've shared a little bit about some, how they came into the weekend versus how they left. Do you have any stories to share?
Oh, gosh. There's always stories because there's always crazy, and Satan does not like.
Spiritual warfare is a real thing.
It's so real.
Yeah.
So real. When I was in the track to become a leader, I was 3 weeks out from my weekend and COVID hit.
We must have been going in around the same time because we had just finished our training. Mm-hmm. And I was
one meeting away.
Yeah, I was the agape coordinator for that weekend. And we had gone through all of our training. And I was actually on a discipleship walk when the world shut down. And I got home from the walk and they had canceled the Kairos weekends as well. Because I was doing them almost. They were both within the same month. So I know exactly when. So you'd gone through this training.
You
go up through.
Right. It's a 2-year commitment.
Yeah. To be able to do that. And then COVID came.
And then COVID came. And so, but God. That same year, my son and his family moved into my home. I had 9 people living in my house. We had just moved into our farm, and he knew that that was not the time for me to be leading.
Yeah.
And I know Kairos, I know COVID was a real thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as I look back now over that year and what happened on the exact weekend I would have been leading in my home.
For you to be there.
I needed to be at home.
Yeah.
So, and so then the ad council said, you're still going to do this, right? So we waited 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. So in August of 2022, I was able to lead God's weekend.
It's beautiful.
And we had 28 women, which was the most we had in several years.
That's so good.
It is.
So good. We talk about God's timing. What does Kairos mean?
Kairos means God's special time.
Yeah.
And every person has their own special time that they need to meet with God. And whether it's on a Kairos weekend, whether it's on an Emmaus weekend, whether it's in your backyard, on your patio, it doesn't matter. God just wants you to meet with him, right? And the more you do, the more you're seeing him. You're more able to see him and watch his blessings everywhere. And then I believe my purpose and role is to grow God's kingdom and bring him honor and glory. Love God, love people. That's my job. If I do nothing else in this life,
right,
I've done my job because I love to do it.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
But we need more people, right? Right. So there's different ways that you can be a part of Kairos.
And that's what I wanted to get into. So what does the future look like for the ministry? I mean, like I as far as I know, everyone's back in the prisons.
Not all prisons.
Not all prisons.
No,
They're still working on that.
There's still some that,
I know there's been some changes with like what you can bring in and things like that.
It's very limited.
Yeah.
And these men and women that go in really love Jesus and love to serve because they're sitting down and eating the meals that the inmates are eating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And these people are just blown away that why would you want to do this?
Yeah.
Right? So that just kind of reflects that on them. And that's what's changed on the inside, right?
Yeah.
The ministry will be celebrating this summer, next month, actually in July, we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Kairos.
Wow.
Yeah. 50 years. That's crazy. Outside was formed a little later. Once they discovered, okay, this is happening here, let's address the needs outside. Yeah. Right? So the future of Kairos looks great. God has been blessing us over and over. We got to go do an event at an Project Angel Tree event at the Colts complex.
Really?
We had 39 women sign up for our weekend. at that event because they're all caregivers of kids whose parents are in prison. That's what Angel Tree is. So it looks like they're probably going to be doing multiple events every year here. So that just like God just opened the floodgates, right? And now we have a QR code, which is cool. So women can just scan it, fill out the application, and it goes to KPMI International. But then based on the zip code, they send them our way. And I get several a week.
How?
So guests are the first thing we are looking for. We can't grow our ministry without more guests.
How do women find out about this?
You just go to my Kairos.
But I mean, is there an active campaign, an outreach that's trying to reach these women, or how?
Word of mouth. We are
Okay.
trying to get out there word of mouth. Hence the reason we did the community fest the other day. We go into churches. I would love to go and speak in a church and just talk to people about it, because I'm sure in every church there are women that maybe we don't know about.
Right.
Even the church might not know about because maybe they're a little embarrassed.
Sure.
Right? Because
Sure.
it's not something people like to talk. I don't like to talk about the fact that my son went to jail. No, but
But it's important to be.
it is.
It's important to share.
Yes.
It's important to be vulnerable.
Right.
That's one of the things that we want to have in every conversation, because, the concept behind this is no one is perfect,
Nope.
but we don't have to stay broken.
Nope.
That's where the bent
God wants
comes from in this,
God,
right?
every scar that we have means God's healed us in some way.
Yeah.
Whether that's physical, emotional, mental.
And he wants us to find purpose from whatever that pain
Right.
we've
He will-
experienced,
he will
right?
use it.
And
He
he will
use
use it. And we wouldn't have necessarily wished it or signed up for it.
Nope.
But what a blessing it is to be able to meet someone else right where they are.
That's
and I
right.
mean, and I think everyone that has found that
Mhm.
has been able to find their purpose for that.
Right.
It is truly that. It is a blessing.
Yeah.
So, and that's part of having this conversation. My hope is that churches and other people and stuff that will see this and be able to pick it up and go,
Right.
well, wait a minute, let's find out more about that, because it is a real thing.
It is.
And you're right. There's a lot of churches and programs that people don't want to talk about this,
Right.
but they need to.
I do.
Yeah.
And it's not, obviously, it's free to the guests, but it's not free.
Yeah.
Right?
So guests, and we can put links for all the guests and all that in this, and we'll share it out, and it can be shared.
Yep.
It's on this show's picked up by like 10 different channels now.
Okay.
So that'll be good. Hopefully some people will hear about it, but in
absolutely.
the description
Yeah,
we can
we
put
will
all the
definitely.
links. But we can also put links for people that want to get involved.
Yeah.
There's someone that's
Yes.
watching this that says, wait a minute, I'd like to know more.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned My Kairos. What is that?
So it's just a website that's got information about it. And you can just go to kairos.org. It doesn't have to be mine. Just go kairos.org. And it's Kairos Prison Ministry International.
And Kairos is
God's special
K.
time. Kairos.
Yes.
Kairos.
Kairos. And
Yes.
if you're not familiar with God's
And
special
if,
time,
yeah,
you may
and
not
if you type in
know what that means.
Kairos Outside, you'll
Mhm.
find lots of information there. It'll link you right to the website. There's videos there that can be watched. There's brochures there to just explains a little bit about the weekend. There's a guest reservation form that you can just fill out right there. There's ways to donate if you're interested in supporting this. I mean, it costs us probably between $15,000 and $20,000 every time we put on a weekend.
Couple questions. If I know someone that deserves to be a part of this weekend, can you nominate someone? How do you?
I would talk to them first, right? And then you can share their information. We'll put a link to the QR code.
Okay.
And I can give you that. It's, there's a flyer that I keep on my phone. So I always have the QR code right on my phone that they can just hit that, and it links right to the guest reservation form.
And you guys, for those that participate, you guys collect donations, do fundraising
We do.
like we do on the inside.
Yep.
And
We
it's
are
on-
required
but-
to
Go ahead.
by
you-
Kairos to raise as many funds as we can. Obviously, we can't do it all, but yes, we do go out there and try and do different things to raise funds.
But if someone has a heart for this
Mhm.
and they're listening to this and they say, I'd love to do that, but I can't pay to be part of. That shouldn't be a limiting factor.
Absolutely
right?
not.
If
It
someone
doesn't
wants
cost
to-
anyone. There are no fees to serve on a team. There are no fees to become a guest. We ask people if they could try to fundraise, and we tell them this is what it costs per person
Sure.
for us to put on the weekend.
Okay.
Anything you can do
Helps
can
with
help.
that. I just wanted to make sure I brought that up because
Yes.
I don't want anyone
No.
to feel like
No.
that's a limiting
No.
factor.
No, there are
Right.
many. Right. Absolutely not. It does not cost. But you can talk to people, right?
Yeah.
And let them know, hey, I'm serving on this weekend, and it costs this amount. Could you help us? And
Yeah.
if you can't do, there were many years where finances were tight. And so, I just reached out to people and asked them to support me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. I actually enjoy it because not just from the fundraising aspect of it, it's kind of intentional awareness, right?
Absolutely.
It gives me the opportunity to share because if I'm out asking for money for Kairos and someone says, "What's Kairos?" I'm like, "Gotcha." let me tell you.
Yes.
Inside, it's very specific to a location, to a prison. Like I've gone in Kairos, Pendleton. I've gone in Plainfield. We've gone in, in other places. I assume Torch is the same way because it's by location.
We have a couple youth offender facilities here.
Outside, is it? You said people come from all over, so
Right.
that's not connected to a specific institution.
No, we have
right?
we have guests who have loved ones in prisons all over the country.
Okay.
You don't have to have
And
anything.
that's-
No.
Yeah, that's the point I wanted to get across.
Anyone who's been impacted in any way by incarceration.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we can make it any easier or any more clear
No.
than that, right?
No.
If you've been impacted by incarceration, if you are a woman above the age of 20 that has been impacted by incarceration at any time
in
by
any way.
anyone, anywhere,
In any way.
you deserve
You
to
deserve
find out about this weekend.
to come and enjoy a free gift we have to offer.
That's beautiful. I thank you.
You're welcome.
I thank you for what you're doing. I can tell you when we're inside and we start sharing what the gift that these people can do on the outside, and how they're able to get connected. These guys get sometimes emotional
Sure.
to think about their spouse or the mother of their children or their mothers or like siblings and things that have gone through that journey, watched them, what, happened to them, to be able to give a gift back to them.
And to watch after that, we have one lady that's on our council. Her son is in prison and probably won't ever be coming out. They do Bible studies together all the time. They've both been through Kairos. It's
That's amazing.
Yep.
That is so good.
Amazing. Then we have another lady that's on our council. Her son was incarcerated and now he's out and he serves on Kairos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he wants to give
Outside.
back. Those
Yep.
stories are
they are great.
those
And that's
stories are
what
great.
that's what we want to do is we want to let people know that we're going to listen, love. That's what we do.
So good. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
I, again, will put the descriptions and links, or the links in the descriptions. I can't thank you enough for coming to share.
Absolutely.
And I just pray that someone out there that needs to get involved or to attend that weekend.
The next one will be in September 11th through the 13th,
There you go.
2026.
And they'll find links in the site.
That's
And
right.
thank you for your
Oh,
time.
you're welcome.
I appreciate you
Absolutely.
coming out, being on the show, sharing your heart for God and serving His people and for the Kairos ministry.
Thank you.
All right. God bless.